was the best you know who I am moment you've experienced? I'm a building inspector for the city. Last week I got called to check out noise complaints at this massive construction site downtown. Multiple neighbors had been calling about work happening way past legal hours, like jackhammers going at 2 a.m. I showed up around lunchtime wearing my usual gear, dirty work boots, faded jeans, and a basic polo shirt with a small city logo that you could barely see. I look young for 28, and I was driving my personal truck since the city vehicle was in the shop. The site was chaos. Heavy machinery everywhere, workers in hard hats, concrete dust covering everything. I walked up to the main trailer where all the supervisors hang out. This guy in an expensive suit and a shiny white hard hat immediately blocked my path. The nameplate on his trailer said, Tony Marcelli, site manager. He looked me up and down like I was dirt on his shoe. Hey kid, you lost. This is a construction zone, not a playground. I politely explained I was there about the noise violations and needed to inspect their permits. He actually laughed out loud. Permits? You look like you should be asking me for a job, not checking my paperwork. I stayed calm and asked to see their work schedule and sound ordinance compliance documentation. That's when Tony really lost it. He started yelling loud enough for the whole crew to hear. Listen, little boy, I've been building in this city for 30 years. I don't need some college kid telling me how to run my operation. You have any idea what this project is worth? Other workers stopped what they were doing to watch the show. Tony was loving the attention. This is a $50 million development. I employ 200 people. I pay more in taxes every month than you probably make all year. He gestured around the site like he owned the whole city. So why don't you run along before I call your supervisor and get you fired from whatever entry-level job you're pretending to have? I tried explaining about the noise complaints again, but he cut me off. Noise complaints? You know who complains about construction noise? Losers who can't afford to live anywhere nice. People like you. The whole crew was watching now. Some guys were laughing along with their boss. Tony pulled out his phone. I'm calling the mayor right now. He's a personal friend of mine. We play golf every Tuesday. He dialed and put it on speaker so everyone could hear. Hey Mike, it's Tony Marcelli. I've got some punk kid here trying to shut down my project over fake noise violations. Can you handle this before I have to get lawyers involved? There was silence on the other end. Then the mayor's voice came through crystal clear. Tony, what inspector are you talking about? Tony smirked at me while talking into the phone. Some college dropout trying to act important. Probably got his badge from a cereal box. The mayor sighed. Tony, what's the inspector's name? I stepped forward and spoke directly to the phone. Mayor Henderson, this is Inspector Rodriguez, badge number 847. I'm here regarding violations of Ordinance 15B regarding construction noise limits. The phone went completely quiet. Tony's confident grin started fading. Finally, the mayor spoke again, but his tone had completely changed. Tony, Inspector Rodriguez is the head of our construction compliance division. He also happens to be my nephew. And Tony, he has a master's degree in civil engineering from State University. You could have heard a pin drop on that construction site. Tony's face went from red to white in about 2 seconds. The workers who'd been laughing suddenly found their boots very interesting to look at. I pulled out my official inspector tablet and badge. Now, about those permits and noise violations. Tony started stammering. Look, Inspector, this is just a big misunderstanding. We can work something out here. I didn't know you were family. I powered up my tablet and started documenting violations. The violations don't care who anybody's family is, Tony, but falsely claiming to be friends with city officials while trying to intimidate a legal inspector, that's a separate issue entirely. I spent the next 3 hours going through everything with a fine-tooth comb. Expired permits, work happening outside legal hours, noise levels double the city limit, safety violations everywhere. The list kept growing. Tony followed me around the whole time, trying to explain away each violation. We can fix that immediately. That's just a small oversight. We've been meaning to update those permits. By the end of my inspection, they had enough violations to shut down the entire project until compliance was met. Tony's $50 million development got put on hold indefinitely. The crew was sent home while the company scrambled to fix everything I'd found. As I was leaving, I heard one of the workers telling another guy, maybe next time boss shouldn't mess with inspectors, especially ones related to the mayor. Tony came running after me as I reached my truck. Inspector Rodriguez, please. I've got 200 families depending on this project. Can we work something out? I looked at him standing there in his expensive suit, no longer acting tough with his crew watching. You should have thought about those families before you decided to cut corners and break city ordinances. Fix the violations, get proper permits, and follow the rules like everyone else. The project eventually reopened 3 months later, after they'd spent an extra $2 million bringing everything up to code. Tony's company lost their preferred contractor status with the city. Last I heard, he's working smaller residential jobs now, and actually following the rules.